Hi there, this is Terry from Stamping Magic. Welcome back to my channel. Today's project is this sweet card. I used the Above the Clouds stamp set to produce it, and this set contains lots of hot air balloon images as well as supporting images and sentiments. I'm also going to use the coordinating hot air balloon punch. So let's get started. These are all the measurements you need for the various elements required to create this card. So if you're interested in reproducing it, if you take a screenshot, you can refer to it later. I'm going to start with the small stamped panel for the front of the card. I'm using balmy blue ink to stamp the clouds, and I'm going to stamp off each time I ink it up. I'm also stamping the sentiment on this panel, and I'm using Memento Tuxedo black ink for this. Now to stamp the balloons, I'm using soft seafoam ink for the first one and Calypso coral ink for the second. I'm colouring these in with the textured block stamp that's also in the set, and I'm using the same colours that I stamped the original balloons with, but again I'm stamping off first just to give it that lighter tone. I'm using Sahara sand ink to stamp the little baskets, and again there's a little textured block stamp that you can use to colour these in with, and I'm just using the full strength Sahara sand ink again for these. Now when I did my second one I missed the top part of it, so I'm going to stamp over it once more. All these pieces can then be punched out using the hot air balloon punch. I had to use a post-it note because I'd stamped them on such small pieces of scrap. I couldn't get them in the punch and hold them otherwise. The little baskets can then be glued onto the bottom of each of the balloons. I'm only going to add dimensionals to the back of the soft seafoam balloon. The other one will be glued flat. I have a white mat for the front of my card here and a So Saffron one to go underneath my cloud stamped panel. Now I'm going to emboss the So Saffron one using the corrugated folder, and I'm using the high C's for the white panel. Now if you turn this one upside down, it looks just like clouds. And this is what it looks like after it's been embossed. Very cloud-like, I think. When I gave you the measurements for the So Saffron mat, it was actually longer than you need. Now, when you use this folder, it will significantly alter the length of the cardstock being embossed, so cut it to size after you've used it. I'm now going to add the panel with the stamped clouds on to this corrugated piece. And I'm also going to layer my front mat onto another piece of So Saffron. Now I'm actually going to use the debossed side of this panel, but it doesn't matter, you can use either side, they both look really nice. I have some scraps of So Saffron card and So Saffron Designer Series paper here, and I'm just going to layer them together just so there's a little border of So Saffron card showing on the top. I'll trim it to the size I want and then use this strip later to decorate my inside panel. I'm also decorating the inside panel with the Trio balloon stamp, and I'm stamping this in soft sea foam, and there's another textured one that you can use to colour in. I'm stamping that off and then stamping that over my balloons just to add a little colour. Then I can add my decorative strip to the bottom of this panel and then position the whole thing inside the card. When I created my original card, I put the front panel quite high up, so I'm going to position it a little lower this time, just to give the balloons a little more space. I can now add the balloons to this panel. Now the Calypso Coral one will be glued flat to the card. The soft sea foam balloon will be raised up and also overlap the first one just slightly. Now if you wanted to, you could add some double dimensionals under that little basket to support it, but I didn't. And then finally this panel can be added to the front of the card base. And that's it, we're all done. A lovely card, very quick to create. And here's my original one. I hope you'll give them a go. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notifications bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Bye for now.